Built in 1854 at the top of a hill in St. Joseph, Missouri, sits one of the most haunted locations in America, the Beattie Mansion. It has served as a refuge for the city's unwanted people, the homeless, aged, and orphaned. Over the years, many have witnessed strange paranormal occurrences involving orphaned children and a guardian-like figure. To learn more, paranormal investigators and others were called in to help solve the mystery and to tell the stories of the people known as the Unwanted.
I am a psychic medium. My name is Marianne Podrasky, and I'm a historian for the Beattie House in St. Joseph, Missouri. The Beattie House was built in 1854 for Eliza and Armstrong Beattie. Armstrong passed away from cholera. He acquired cholera from the well in the backyard that was contaminated. Eliza inherited this house, but she had no means to keep it up. All of Armstrong's money went to a niece and nephew. Because she could not support the house on what she was left, which was little or nothing, she allowed the Ladies Benevolent Society to come in. She took boarders originally, and eventually it was turned into a home for the unwanted.
Over the years, many paranormal occurrences have happened which have brought about many questions. Why haven't these souls crossed over? Is there something in the way that prevents them? To find out, the paranormal team begins their investigation.
Hey Joe, I'm going to get a baseline with this EMF reader, okay?
Right on that. I'm going to go set this REM pod down there.
Cool, I will catch up to you.
Okay. Shut this thing off. If you could do that for me, that would be appreciated.
All right, Jack. Remember what we talked about? I'm over here. And I need you to show me that you're here. I need for everybody else to see that you're here. If you want things to change, that's what you have to do. You want everything with me. You set yours off over on the other chair. If you're more comfortable over there and you want to be seen over there, that's fine, I understand. Yes. Yep. Well, I like either this room here, and I also like all the way into the down that hallway to the basement.
All right. Start here.
Okay. I think this is the room that the caretaker stayed in, Pete.
All right.
So yeah, we can try in here.
So the Beattie Mansion started out as a residence for a local banker. His name was Armstrong Beattie and his wife Eliza. They had no children, they had no heirs. So when they passed away, You just got hit on the audiolist for lice. So when they passed away, the house was sent to...
I'm getting some spikes right here. It went all the way up to red. Something's going on in this room.
Comes out, I want to make sure that we're in a good area that's not going to get any interference whatsoever. Let's see, temperature is currently at 84.4 right there. And I'm going to shine it right here about where I'm at. It's at 84, let's see, 84.4 right here where I'm at. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, it's pretty hot in here. It's like, man. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If anybody's here with me, can you light this K2 up in my hand? I got a little toy right here. Can you light it up? Hey, Jack, you were talking to me over there just a second ago. Can you light this up for me?
Well, I first was introduced in 2005. A good friend of mine bought the place. I lived here for 6 weeks. It was cheap rent, and it changed how I felt about the paranormal. Because if you spend any time here, you will see more in the corner of your eyes and hear things that you don't anywhere else. So I stayed here, helped to do a renovation, and that's when I saw the first full-body apparition. And I was in the kitchen, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was bent over working on something, and this man walked in about 12 feet in my peripheral vision, stood there, turned, black pants, white shirt, turned to talk to me, I thought. And I regarded him for like a count of 7, and I turned and nobody was there. So, second experience, I was living here at the time, and I was upstairs in the northwestern bedroom in the west wing, and I heard at 3 in the morning, I'm coming, sir, I'm coming. Bounced down that wall, that hallway, Eliza's hallway, from the servant's staircase, which is in the east wing. And I thought there was an intruder. I grabbed my gun and I said, I'm coming, you have 10 seconds to get out. And listen, nobody scrambled. And I didn't check every 35 bedrooms, but I checked all the entrances and exits, and nobody was here.
Y'all ready to play a game with me? Sure. All right. I'm going to start counting. And y'all finish the number sequence for me, okay? 1, 2. What comes after 2? Dose.
If you would like to talk to us, please light it up, and you can make it go all the way to red, and we will know that you are ready. My name's Kara, and this is my friend Joe, and we just came because we are interested in the history of the house and anybody who might be here with us right now.
If you could you make that go to pink? That would be pretty impressive.
you're not Jack and you want to talk to us, please come through and talk to us. We want to hear your story too.
All right, Jack. Right next to me. Sounds like it's irritating. Maybe. You may be, and that's fine. It almost sounds like the REM pod noises are coming out of the spirit box. I don't know if there are cobwebs or something.
You just feel something?
Yeah, like all down, like all here. I don't think there are cobwebs, but okay. Is that you touching my arm? You can touch my arm. That's fine. Are you okay with the female in here with you? I'm gonna put some equipment on the bed if you'd like to communicate with us through that. Do you know how to describe this?
There you go.
Okay.
There we go.
I also have this music. Okay. Thank you.
What's it those? Oh, it's probably a pipe right here.
Is that where you got the hit?
No. That is probably electrical right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you just hear those footsteps over there?
Yeah, my Ovilus said legs. Maybe someone's running around, maybe some kids.
Maybe.
Because whenever Armstrong and Eliza passed away, the house got deeded into a labor union kind of organization for women, and they chose to make this into an orphanage. So you would see a whole bunch of kids in here. They would be attending class. They would be living upstairs in the main room. And then eventually what we're standing in is the basement of the original house. And then once the original house was built, they would then go on to extend, into another wing. They would build a whole other wing into the house. So there's 2 wings, and it's 2 floors and a basement. So that's pretty much the history on that.
Oh, that's crazy. Wait, shine that light over here. I just saw something like go right up into here. Hello? Let's see, temperature is 85.6 in here. That was weird. It was like a light anomaly that just switched. Hey, if you're here, light this little toy up in my hand. I just saw you enter this room. Where are you at? Come on now, I just want to talk to you.
Eventually, the home went from orphanage to a mainstay for Confederate soldiers, and basically just people with nowhere to go. It eventually turned into a home for drug addicts and mental patients, which is where some of the questionable energy might come in. Into the 90s, it was left empty and a lot of vagrants lived here, hence some of the damage to the house. But it's gone through several incarnations. Outside you can see where the building really doesn't look like the pictures anymore, but that was very common for this area. As they reused and added on, they doubled the size of the house, adding on an entire wing, and that's where the difference comes in what the pictures show and what really exists to this day.
What
after 2?
Nope.
I know y'all are great at this game.
Well,
Okay, I'll go ahead and do the next number. 3. Can you finish the numbers for me? What comes after 3? 4. What comes after 4? 5. Come on, kids. Come and join me in the counting game. Which one of you kids can tell me the number that comes after 5?
I was here one time and heard piano music playing when I was trying to go to sleep, and you woke me up. So
Could you determine a song?
no, but I know that it wasn't random because it had
A tune to it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, they were good.
I mean, if you're going to play Baby Grand or Grand, I would hope you be, schooled.
Would you mind if I took your photo?
Feel free to smile. Show us your piano hands. Even if you don't play piano, you are welcome to come light this up just to let us know you're here and maybe where we need to come talk to you.
It's coming out of there.
Dear Jack, could you please turn off the red pot over here and set it off for us, please? On the chair?
Jack, do you not like all these other people here? It's okay if you don't, and I understand that. But if you want stuff to change, this is what we gotta do. We're friends. Remember, you're the one who said never give up. You told me that. Now I'm telling you. I'm going to shut this down for a minute, okay? I need you to come through.
I also have this music box that's, none of this will hurt you, but if you walk in front of it, it will play music and let us know that you're here and we can ask you questions.
Pete, I've heard you don't like the ladies, so I'm down here too, man.
Can you step away from that, please? Thank you.
Maybe he does like the ladies.
Maybe so. Are you okay with the lady down here? You can walk in front of the music box for yes.
Let me turn my lights. Pete, if you're in here, feel free to walk in front of me right now.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that.
So go ahead and follow me. And as you can see, this is a kitchen where lunches and breakfast was prepared for orphans. And they're if you hear any noise, it's definitely the AC unit right there. Still have no further hits on my Ovilus.
I got some more hits in here, but it was electrical, so.
And in here, looks like we have a pantry or a fridge. So, as you can see, this place is kind of depressing. And to kind of feel like, you know, you have no mom, you have no dad, and this is the only place you can go. This is like the only place that they can bring you. It's actually kind of sad.
Can you light this little device up in my hand? Anything? I'm going to leave it right here on the bed. And if you want to touch it, you can. Just light it up. I want to talk to you. Can you make that device light up for me? That's crazy. I definitely saw something come in here, and now it's not. It's not here either. It's not. Either it came in and then left, or it's just too afraid to communicate, which is really crazy. So the temperature in this one is about the same as it was over there in the other room.
Then it got to the point where my buddy Michael is a great guy, and people were burglarizing the place. So myself and a couple other guys were staking it out. And we had two guys out on both wings, front porch. I was down in the basement watching the window where the burglars were coming in at. And it was, I don't know, 11:45, and it got cold, bone-chilling cold, and I thought it was a draft. And I realized that it was colder outside than it was in the basement, and I felt something behind me, and I felt a sting down my bicep. And it, like nettles, like a fire coral, like a chemical burn. And I was on the walkie-talkie, and I'm like, I'm out. I left and went home. I had a fleece, Patagonia fleece, thick fleece, pulled it off, and I had 3 bloody scratches down my bicep, the whole length of my bicep. I don't go to the basement anymore.
Which one of you kids can tell me the number that comes after 5? What number comes after 5? I'm trying to say 6. What's after 6? They're asking. Yeah, I'm asking. Who's going to answer my questions? Help and talk? Yes, I will help for y'all to talk to people, and I'll help people to talk to y'all and give you the respect that you deserve.
I know it seems difficult.
But this is real ghost hunting. It's never right when we want it.
Exactly. It always is like that.
Joe, do you want to try playing something? Do you
Yeah,
know
sure.
anything? Give it a go. See if maybe the music will stir something up.
Okay. Well, if I start doing bad, light that up for me, and you can have a seat and try yourself. Let's see. I'm no Mozart, so.
If you like it, will you light it up to red, please?
As soon as I put it's just
going off because you're moving it.
Yeah.
As soon as I put it down there earlier, it was going off.
What do you think of the table?
I just put it in the firewall floor. Yeah. All right, let's play our game. I'm gonna sit back here. Did you just hear that behind you?
That's
Sounds
something
like-
behind me a lot this evening.
And no, well, it sounded like something moved.
Talk to me, Pete.
Okay, sorry. I apologize. Is there something you want to tell us? Are you okay with what's in here?
Pete, if you're okay with us in here, walk in front of my music box, please. Are you okay with us being in here, Pete? Is that a yes? Can I get a yes? If you're not comfortable with us being in here, Pete, walk in front of the music box for a no, please.
Because, it makes you think, you feel so alone. You feel so unwanted, and the world doesn't care about you. You live here, you grow up in here, and then you go out into the real world and hope for the best. I can't imagine feeling that as a young child. That makes you feel very vulnerable.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, actually. You can feel down here, there is a heavy presence down here of sadness. I mean, who wouldn't be sad? Orphanage kids. Let's continue to walk down here. Let's come over here to this dark room over here.
I mean, this place is just crazy, man. I mean, you can see like all these pipes right here, and I see them all over the house. Just all these different pipes that are just not connected, et cetera. I mean, it's definitely an abandoned mansion for sure. And from what I've heard, super haunted as well. Caution. You sure what it was? Oh, hell no, man. Come on. I'll have to ask the owner about that. Holy shit. Dude, I just saw it.
I first started driving by the house with my dad. We'd go up to Wyeth Hill, which is an overlook, a historical overlook not far from here. And whenever we drove past the house, there was just something pulling at me. And I'd look out the window and see all this activity, generational, one after another, and basically 150 years worth of life going on. People roaming the grounds, people in Victorian dress, people in hospital gowns. They weren't really there, but yet they were there. I first drove into the back lot. First thing I saw was a man standing in the basement window, banging on the glass, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" And I told him I felt like I was pulled here. I wasn't sure why, but that I wasn't here to bother him. And then when I first got into the house, first thing I heard was singing, because Eliza likes to sing. She's very well known for singing in the hallway. And I heard Armstrong whistling. And I also saw black shadows moving across the ceiling and peeking around the corner, right in here. That I feel might have been some of the energy left from mental patients or drug addicts. They were allowed to come and go, and that led to a lot of problems. One of the reasons why they closed the place down, and also code enforcements. There was a lot of people here with a lot of issues. Mentally, they weren't allowed to live on their own. They just couldn't handle it. There was also a suicide. They called it suicide, but I'm wondering if she didn't have some help. In the back stairway from the pipes, I saw a woman dangling, and eventually she suffocated. But there were also two men standing there next to her, so I'm not really sure if they had a hand in it or not. But obviously her hopelessness led to her suicide. And there's also a lot of activity up and down the back stairwell. And some of the rooms that are closed off and locked now are where I believe there was possibly some violence amongst the residents with other residents. I don't think they had problems with the staff as much as they were problematic in nature because of their addictions or their mental capacity.
You know, I'm going to have to leave here tomorrow. So if you have anything to tell me now, this would be a good time to do so. You have nothing to be afraid of anymore. Can you let me know that you're here? I'm gonna knock, and you go ahead and knock back for me.
Oh my gosh. Do you feel that?
I'm like charged up right now. Like the hair.
It's like super chills, like this, like spider webs.
And I'm sweating.
It's right
too.
here.
Yeah, I'm sweating too, but it like feels cold. Like a fan's coming blowing on you.
You hear that? No way. Will you come talk to us?
Okay, from this direction.
Are you in here? Will you light up my toy?
I did. It was over there.
It's over here.
It was a faint knot.
It's making noises. It's. Are you playing a game with us? Let's go see. Go that way. Go that way. Go that way. What was this building?
Oh, good.
Hi.
Yeah, come over here. It's the same thing. Just charged up.
Are we getting close to you? Can I come in here?
It's okay, you can come closer, we're not gonna harm you. We just wanna talk.
Let's try this, huh? See if it works. All right, here's the deal. I've got one, you got one. I'm going to make a noise and you repeat it. You can start if you want. That's fine. I don't mind either way.
Keep feeling something right.
I keep hearing like movement behind you.
But when you were singing earlier in the hallway, I felt the same thing, like it was just right behind me.
Maybe we should put the millimeter down there.
And it's all full, like right. Actually, yeah. Like right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
Should I put it back further, maybe?
Yeah, try that.
Like, well, we could do an EVP session. I have my recorder. Maybe you could tell us something. If I put a recorder out, would you talk to us? You would? Okay. I could do it. Maybe he just wants to use those. Might. Did you work here? Did you like it here?
I think he's cutting you off.
I think he is. Can I finish a sentence? Okay. All right. I'll let him talk.
Pete, do you like music?
Did you... Wait. What was that? Did y'all hear that?
What did you hear?
It was like somebody was stepping.
You heard footsteps?
I also heard... Actually, I heard this door move over here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. What was that?
Footsteps right up there.
Wow, it is cold in here. It's a 90-degree day outside right now, and it is really cold in this room right here.
Hey, you
Hey,
okay?
be careful.
You alright?
No, not really.
What happened?
I don't know. I mean, it's like... It's only... I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it. I fell downstairs.
Well, let me tell you what just happened to me. I did a session upstairs, and one of the spirits here that lingers feels like he's been wrongly accused, and he's
Talking about that Jack guy?
yeah.
Okay.
His name's Jack. I think he
You don't think he's the one that pushed me down the stairs?
no.
I mean, because I really feel like that I was pushed. I mean, I felt something like hit me in the daggum back.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a crier, and I broke down in tears. I'm about to break down in tears right now. But at the top of the stairwell,
It's like we're both getting tore down.
I was furious when I came to the top of the stairwell.
Yeah.
It was a whole different emotion, so I'm starting to wonder. And there is something else here, a menacing figure that they are mistaken Jack for.
Gotcha.
This is what I'm piecing together.
Right.
I've opened up, and Jack just wants to have his name cleared.
Yeah.
And we need to address whatever else is here right now.
After completing the paranormal investigation, the team reviews over their research and evidence. Were they able to solve the mysteries that surround the unwanted?
What's going on there? Understand. Do you understand? Do you understand my pain? What do you understand? Jack, were you a sailor? Okay, Jack. It's not going to change. Yes. Okay. I'm picking up on everything that you're saying right now. Jack, you are upset because nothing's ever going to change as long as people come in here. Is that correct? Yep. Do you want me to tell everybody that you are a good man and an honorable man? Honorable. Yeah. My experiences at Beattie Mansion have been extremely emotional. One particular spirit here always comes out and talks to me. He's been forgotten. He's been demonized by other investigators that come here and think that he's evil. And from my interactions with Jack, he wants everyone to know that he is not this evil spirit. He's just a forgotten spirit. And he wants to tell his story. I mean, I get emotional talking about it right now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Do you feel that?
I'm like charged up right now. Like the hair.
It's like super chills, like this, like spider webs.
And I'm sweating.
It's right here.
Yeah, I'm sweating too, but it like feels cold, like a fan's coming blowing on you.
Oh my. What was this building? Hi.
Yeah, and then I come over here, it's the same thing. Just charged up.
Are we getting close to you? Can I come in here?
And then it just stopped. Oh, there you are.
So do you want me in here? It's a very heavy feeling in here.
It is. I was just thinking that, like, now my heart's pounding. Phew.
I'm sweating and have chills at the same time.
I am a paranormal investigator. I've been to several locations. What draws me to Beattie Mansion is the sheer size of the place. Once you walk in, you'll get a sense of attention. They want your attention. It's almost like if you walk into someone's home that has children or pets, especially children, and they just kind of flock to you. They want your undivided attention. Yeah, you get that sense of unwantedness, and they want to feel wanted. Once a lot of people came here, a lot of orphans, people like that that didn't have family, they would come here, they would get that sense of family. It was probably not the most functional family, but they got that sense of family and they felt wanted. So when you come here, you will interact in that way. And the more you come here and the more time you spend in here, the more they know you, and I feel like they develop a relationship with you. And you'll feel that. The emotion I get here is not really, it's not dark, but it's just, you get some sadness. But along with a sense of peace, too, at the same time. I believe that's why they're attached to this place, is they feel that.
Is that you? Will you light up this toy or make a noise for me? It sounds like there's walking outside.
Yeah. I thought maybe on the steps, kind of. Can you shut the door to the room that you stayed in?
This is my first visit to the Beattie Mansion, and I didn't research anything about it beforehand, so I had no expectations, but anything that I had hoped for happened. Just upon walking in the building, I felt the energy and the anticipation of what might happen. And I did a quick tour, walk around by myself, and I started having some experiences just with feelings of sadness or loneliness. In one bedroom, actually while we were investigating, Joe and I actually were overcome with just this heavy, weighed down feeling that was very uncomfortable and kind of hard to describe, of intense energy but yet pressure as well. And that, honestly, I just kind of had to get out of that space. It wasn't anything bad or scary per se, but it was just an intense situation that was really kind of cool to have, and I'm glad I got to share that with Joe. We caught some EVPs, which is always amazing to have such clear messages communicated, and a lot of the equipment has gone off, given responses when we ask questions, and that's always fun to get, and not just in one room or even area. It kind of seems to be all over, and that is what's so exciting about being here at Beattie, and I'm really glad I came.
It almost sounds like the REM noises are coming out of the spirit box. Listen. Hear that?
Yeah, they're deep.
Yeah. All right, let's play our game. I'm going to sit back here. Did you just hear that behind you?
Yeah, but I felt something behind me a lot this evening.
And no, well, it sounded like something moved.
It's okay, you can come closer, we're not gonna harm you. We just wanna talk.
Let's try this, huh? See if it works.
My experiences at Beattie Mansion have been plentiful. There are spirits here that choose to interact and have given their names, such as Jack and Eliza, over various means of communication, such as spirit boxes and portals. The thing about Beattie Mansion that seems to stand out compared to other sites, would be the emotional draw that this site brings to the table. They want you to feel what they felt. They want you to know what they experienced and what they went through and what they're feeling now. They want the issues of feeling sadness and overwhelmed by sadness or frustration are plentiful here at Beattie compared to other locations. It's almost like they want you to understand them during your communication. They want you to know who they are and what they felt.
Keep feeling something, right?
I keep hearing like movement behind you.
But when you were singing earlier in the hallway, I felt the same thing, like it was just right behind me.
Maybe we should put the millimeter down there.
And it's all full, like right. Actually, yeah, like right here.
Right there?
Yeah.
Should I put it back further maybe?
Yeah, try that. Try by that bedroom door right there. Right there. Yeah, try right there.
Okay, see, I'm telling you, there's something down
I keep seeing it out of the corner of my eye, but I can't.
there. I straight up saw something move.
Out of the doorway or in the corner? Because I keep.
Like right in the. Right here. So here at Beattie Mansion, in the past I have experienced a lot of paranormal activities such as footsteps, doors opening and closing. At one point I made contact with an entity that I believed named Jack. I find that contact very important to the investigation that I did just last night. So last night, another team member did make contact, I think again with Jack, and it seems to have opened up the door for a lot of other questions to be answered. Doing the investigation last night, I still could hear a lot of those doors opening and closing, and I feel like a lot of the spirits here that still remain here have continued to reach out and continue to say, hello, I'm here. And I think what they're trying to do at this point is really get their real story across. They want to be heard. I think they've spent an eternity of not being heard, and I think they're angry because of that, and they're upset because of that. And it's almost like they want to take us and shake us and say, hey, we're here, just listen. And that's something they experienced in life and now in death. So I found that the more that I'm just compassionate about that thought and that idea, the more they reach out. Sitting in the bathroom area alone in this little closet, it does give you a sense of anxiety and kind of fear, and it heightens everything. I'm not really sure if that's because I'm sitting in this tiny little closet or if they're really just kind of cramming in there, trying to all speak to you at one time. And as I was sitting in there, I kind of
made the joke, is this just a bathroom? And of course the REM pod lit up. So every time I made that joke, it would kind of do that again. It's almost like, yes, you're finally here, you're interacting. It's not somebody thinking, oh, we're these evil spirits. Someone's actually having fun with us and lighthearted. And as far as some of the other residents that remain here go as well, if you just say, hey, you want to come over and play, you'll hear the footsteps. You can say, I brought this toy with you, and can you move it? Can you light it up? And they'll do that for you. You just have to pay attention to what they're asking you.
Pete, if you're in here, feel free to walk in front of me right now. Stephanie and I went down into the basement to the caretaker's room where we came into contact with Pete, and it was very interesting. I had heard an offhand comment from another team member that he didn't like women, possibly, and also he didn't particularly like women playing the piano. So when we got down there, here I am with a music box, don't know what I'm doing with it per se, but I quickly figured it out. And I just started talking to Pete, and I let him know, hey, this is very interesting to me, and I have no ill intentions here. I started asking him, do you like music? Do you like musicians? I'm a musician. I figured maybe being a musician with the box might help. The entire time, I was very comforted. It almost felt like I was having a conversation with an old friend, as crazy as that sounds. So much to the point that I asked him if it was okay if I sat on the edge of his bed. As soon as I did, boom, 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 all three devices we had in that room were going off simultaneously. It was a very interesting experience, and I'm looking forward to plenty more.
Is there something you want to tell us? Are you okay with what's in here? If I put a recorder out, would you talk to us? You would? Okay.
I've been to the Beattie Mansion a few times in the past, but last night was the first time I've experienced that much activity while I've investigated here. I really investigated one room the most, and it was, I believe his name is Pete. Maybe he was a caretaker back in the day. Down in the basement, there's a room with a twin bed. And I went with a gentleman. Both of us were down there. We got activity as soon as we sat the REM pod on the bed. We had two music boxes. They were all three going off. If it was Pete, I don't think he liked me talking very much. Every time I would try and ask a question, he would just cut me off. But when Dusty asked questions, even the same question, he would answer. So I don't know if he was very happy if I was down there. I don't know if he just doesn't want women down there, but he was definitely responding to every question that he asked. When he sat on the bed, all of our equipment went off all at once. It was like really uncomfortable down there. I'm not sure who's in that room, but whoever's in there, I don't think wanted me in there.
Did you just hear those footsteps over there?
Yeah, my Oculus said legs. Maybe someone's running around, maybe some kids.
Maybe. It was like somebody was stepping.
You heard footsteps?
I actually heard this door move over here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. What was that? Wow, creep vibrations.
Oh. Something bad happening here? Light up to orange if it did. Oh. And with the dark orange. So, it's been my first time here being at the Beattie Mansion, and I really didn't know much about the place prior to coming here. I do know that it was an orphanage, so I was able to investigate the basement,
which had a classroom, and it also had like whiteboards, and there was like a chess area or a checkers area. And well, I got a few hits on my K2 meter for electromagnetic frequencies, and when I was pulling it up and down, it was like the size of a child. It went to the orange light, and I tried to do an EVP session. We didn't catch anything, but walking around the basement area, we did hear a lot of footsteps. We heard running. On our Ovilus, we received shoved, and which would be possibly the kids playing around wanting to push people. And we also got surprised, like they were jumping out wanting to surprise us. Another thing we did hear inside the boiler room was a knock on the boiler. I tried to recreate it. I couldn't recreate it. I also knocked 3 times to see if they can recreate it, and nothing happened. But that was one of the experiences. We also went down to the East Wing basement, where we heard a loud crash from like a metal pan. Tried to look around, nobody kicked it, but it was really loud, and I got a few K2 hits in that area too. But that was my experience here.
My equipment of choice is the Ovilus. This is a dictionary that spirits can pick up on and let us know what they're thinking or what they're saying to us. And here we already have some spirits getting, anti, and then we have finger, and we have eggs. And since this area is predominantly a school area for orphans in the house, this is kind of, kid type, words. Eggs and fingers, finger painting and eating eggs for breakfast and everything like that. The auntie's a little bit weird. Strong Beattie and his wife Eliza. They had no children, they had no heirs. So when they passed away, legs. You just got to hit on the Ovilus for legs. Through what? What are you trying to guide us through? Legs, levitation, through. All things involving motion.
What I found is that this house was built by a prominent banker named Armstrong and his wife Eliza Beattie. Armstrong was a prominent banker here in town and unfortunately lost his life pretty early due to cholera in the 1800s. This left his wife a widow and without a child because they were not able to conceive while he was alive. This left a void in Eliza's heart. She had wanted children for as long as she could remember, so she opened up her house to orphans and to single mothers struggling to raise their children. And she did this for quite some time until her passing 2 to 3 years later after her husband. The house later then became a homeless shelter for all walks of life, for all walks of, all ages that there are. And that unfortunately had to come to an end when a union came in and decided to make the house a assisted living center for the elderly. That occurred about 1895. I'm not going to put my, money on that specific number, but it was around then because my research says it was 100 years that this place was an assisted living center. And I found out that that center had closed in 1995 because they decided that the building no longer suited their needs. So I conducted a paranormal investigation of the basement. And the basement, has it's pretty much in 3 separate parts. And the first initial part is where, there was tons of learning. There was the classrooms down there for the orphans and for all children. And you could see that it was, built for that specification. That's what they built it to do. And then, there's a lot of preconceived notions about this place having moved. Well, that cannot be. Because when you walk down into the basement, you see the initial basement from the first wing being built. And then you go through there and then you can see, the back porch being built on. And then you go further down into it where we went, and there's the whole other side of the house. But the thing is that that center and this whole other side look completely different than this area that was dedicated to classrooms. This area had a kitchen, it had, whiteboards, it had, desks and kitchen and stuff and a pantry. You could definitely tell that this was the intention of this specific spot. So then you had to weave your way into the tunnel, and then that's when you saw the addition built. Where you could see that there was clearly two separate phases in addition to this initial one. And during our investigation of this basement, we heard push, we heard surprise, we heard all sorts of things. And from what I can gather, it could come from anyone. This house has been around for over 100 years. It has been around for over 150 years. It has seen all walks of life, from orphans to the elderly. That's from age 0 to 100. It doesn't really matter the ages. There's stories.
Oh, that's crazy. Wait, shine that light over here. I just saw something go right up into here. Hello? Let's see, temperature is 85.6 in here. That was weird. It was like a light anomaly. It just switched. You sure what the heck? Oh, hell no, man. Come on. I'll have to ask the owner about that. Holy shit! Dude, I just saw it.
One of the things that I have noticed is that it has a lot of children in it that love to play mischievous little games like tug on your shirt or tug on your pants. They don't mean any harm by it, and even if you happen to get hurt, I don't think it was that they do it intentionally. I think that they want to be accepted. They don't want you to treat them as if they're unwanted. They want you to like them. They want you to want them because their loved ones didn't. You really think about that. These were kids that were literally tossed to the side, okay? Their parents didn't want them for whatever reason, relatives, etc. But the Beattie Mansion did. The Beattie Mansion gave them that home. And even after death, they continue to give them that home. And the other entities continue to give them that support that's here. It's like it's one big family, and they take up for one another, and they're not standoffish. They will definitely come and interact with you, but only if you're coming into this with one, an open mind, and two, not trying to antagonize them or anger them. I think that if you come here, you're going to see for yourself that they're not here to harm you by no means. There's nothing here that I would say is evil or anything like that. But make no mistake, you come and you try to start something, there's other entities here that'll show you the door real quick. But as long as you're treating them with respect, I think that you will be treated with respect in return. And I think that they will want you to come back, instead of casting you out the door as one of them that is unwanted.